So, the alternating series test. Very strongly want to urge this does not test for absolute convergence. The whole point of this is for alternating series. So I have to have alternating positive and negative terms, not absolute convergence, which is actually kind of rare for us. Most of our tests are for absolute convergence. This is not. So I have to have an alternating series. So I should be seeing -1 raised to a power. It could be raised to the nth. It could be raised to the n plus 1 times something. Let me use this as u of n. A of n would technically include the -1 to the n. So I'm going to say that's, so I have the series n goes from 1 to infinity of -1 to the n times u to the n, where the u is the terms without the alternating part. There are 3 conditions I have to check. For a converging series, the non-alternating part must be positive, decreasing towards 0. Okay, so non-alternating part, positive, decreasing towards 0. This is a really great test, so much so that students always want to use this on non-alternating series. So that's why I have the reminder here. This is just for an alternating series. So if I look at the series where n goes from 1 to infinity of -1 to the n plus 1 times 1 over n. Because of I have -1 to the n plus 1, if I write out my first few terms, which is always kind of nice to do, I'd have +1 minus 1/2 plus 1/3 minus 1/4, and so on. It looks a lot like the harmonic series that I did as one of the examples for P series, and the harmonic series diverged. This is what's called the alternating harmonic series. So what I want to do is, it is alternating. The non-alternating part is the 1 over n. That is always going to be positive because n is always a positive number. 1 over n, as n gets larger, is decreasing. And if I do the limit as n goes to infinity of 1 over n, it's decreasing towards 0. Because of all of this, my series converges by the alternating series test. It is a quick test with alternating series. That's why everybody wants to use it on non-alternating series, but yeah, you just have to remind yourself. I kind of think of it as I'm always checking 4 things. Is it an alternating series? Are the non-alternating parts positive, decreasing towards 0?